Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Bentley5. Today we're going to be doing a bit of a different video to my usual Roblox content. This is the Lego Batman Iceberg, provided by you/JoeyTheDecpticon. I'm very excited for this video. Let's get into it. The sky. The first pick on this list is the Burtonverse adaptation. Now this is referring to each chapter being based on apparently one of Burton's films, with chapter 1 apparently being based on Batman Forever, which actually isn't one of Burton's films, it's Joel Schumacher. 2 levels being based on Batman and Robin, which is also Joel Schumacher. Chapter 2 being based on Batman Returns, with the Catwoman and the Penguin, which does make quite a bit of sense, which is Tim Burton. And chapter 3 being based on Batman 1989, which is also Tim Burton. This does make sense due to all the characters in each of the levels and all the music being very similar. It's all taken from the Burton films. Moving on. Suit upgrades. This is referring to due to how many levels there are in this game. Half of the red bricks are actually just upgrades for the various suits in the game, with a variety of effects being added for these new suits, being more battering targets, and even new attacks. Moving on. Lack of gold bricks. This is the only main series Lego game to not have gold bricks as collectibles, even though these appear in every single Lego game released before and after. These appear in Lego Indiana Jones, Lego Star Wars, everything, you know them. And this game surprisingly did not feature them. Moving on. Batman the Animated Series designs. Several character designs are based on their appearances from Batman the Animated Series, most notably Clayface, Poison Ivy, Two-Face, Harley Quinn, Scarecrow, and to an extent, Mr. Freeze. DS exclusives. The DS version of the game includes many DS exclusive characters, including, but not limited to, Katana, Azrael, the Ventriloquist, and even Victor Zsasz, along with a lot of other alternate costumes for characters. Moving on. Killing Joke reference characters. The Tropical Joker character is based on his look when he crippled, then assaulted Barbara Gordon in The Killing Joke. A pretty dark character inclusion for a kid's game, am I right? Now this is based on the Killing Joke comic book. Moving on. Reused models in Lego Batman 2. Several models from this game were reused in Lego Batman 2, since several villains were added to the roster that didn't have a minifigure at the time, such as Mr. Freeze, Killer Croc, Man-Bat, Penguin, all having the same model from Lego Batman 1. Shallow waters. Chalk outline. There's an outline of a dead Lego person. Near the start of the level, the Riddler makes a withdrawal. Who is this? We don't know why this was put here. Probably to add atmosphere to the level. Again, another pretty dark inclusion for a kid's game. Broken extra toggle. Extra toggle is an extra in several Lego games that allows you to use more characters in a level during free play, and allow you to use characters that you couldn't normally play as in levels, such as the Scout Trooper in Lego Star Wars. For some odd reason, however, extra toggle wasn't programmed properly, which causes all of the secret characters to be unplayable apart from the police marksman. Said secret characters include the Riot Police Officer, Red Freeze Girl, Orange Security Guard, the couple in the end scene of Biplane Blast, several worker enemies throughout the villain levels, Civvy, a geek, and several enemy vehicles. Pretty interesting, huh? Team Penguin reference. There's a small reference to the cartoon The Batman. In one episode of the show titled Team Penguin, the Penguin recruits several villains to join his new gang. Those being Killer Croc, Ragdoll, Killer Moth, Firefly, and Bane, who was beaten by Batman before he could even join. In this game, Penguin's gang includes both Killer Croc and Bane. Killer Moth is in the game, though he's part of the Joker gang, though Man-Bat could represent him, and Catwoman could represent Ragdoll. While it's probably just coincidence, it does line up well with Team Penguin. Facts. Unlike other LEGO games, you can buy information or facts about the characters in the game, and related to the game. All these facts are possibly canon. Store exclusive villains. Both Man-Bat and the Mad Hatter are unlocked through the store, and are the least involved in their retrospective villain stories. Classic Catwoman and Tropical Joker are both alternate costumes that you can get in the store. Lastly, Hush and Ra's al Ghul both have to be purchased in the store when you unlock them. Custom only characters. In the main game, the only way to play as Azrael, Black Mask, Huntress, and Spoiler is to construct them in the custom character maker after achieving 100% completion. It's pretty unfortunate these characters weren't included properly, and was a feature most players skipped over. Early models and trailers. Some early models were included in the trailers, such as the early Good Design and Black Police Officers. What's Good Design? Guys, I'm pretty sure by Good Design they meant Goon Design. I found some original photos of the original Penguin Goon designs, which is actually pretty crazy. So yeah, it's pretty tough, guys. I'll put a photo up. Let's move on. Batman in Arkham Asylum. There's a glitch caused after playing the Arkham Asylum bonus mission where you can get both Batman and Robin into Arkham Asylum. Alternatively, you can get the villains into the Batcave by swapping between them enough times quickly. The Yeti. Possibly the oddest inclusion in the game, the Yeti is a character you buy in the store after you complete the final Penguin Hero story mission. It has no abilities other than its gun, and never even appears in any level or cutscene in the game. The Middle. Set in the early 90s. Based on the design of the characters, the technology every character has, and the appearance of the characters like Bane, Azrael, Tim Drake, Spoiler, and Hush, it's safe to assume that this game takes place in the late Bronze Age of Batman, aka the early to mid 1990s. LEGO Batman 2 is a reboot, due to there being very little reference to the first game, as well as the new character designs and suits, and the expansion of the DC universe. I think it's safe to assume that LEGO Batman 2 is a reboot, not a sequel. Takes place after No Man's Land. Due to how rough and empty Gotham is in this game, and it being possibly set in the 90s, it's very possible this game is set after the earthquake struck Gotham and caused No Man's Land arc in the comics. This explains the disappearance of a few villains. Glass breaks textures. In several levels in the game, there is a glass texture that tends to extremely break other textures, such as the faces of the Joker, Mr. Freeze, and the Penguin, most notably in an icy reception. Boundary break. There are several areas where you can leave the boundary and explore freely, the most famous location being on the Lure of the Night. Killable Alfred. Alfred is the only character in the Batcave that you can easily kill in just 1 or 2 punches, either by knocking him into a wall or off the balcony. The Deep Waters. Unused levels. There are several unused levels in the game, most notably the Fairgrounds entrance, which can be loaded into LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. Most unused levels are an early version of existing levels in a different order. Original Harley Quinn. Harley has an older model that was changed before the trailers came out. It still appears in a few spots in the game, mostly on billboards. Ice Rocket. A glitch that causes a frozen character to fly up if you shock them with Joker's buzzer. They will fly up into the sky. iOS versions. There are 2 mobile/iOS versions of this game. First, there's LEGO Batman the mobile game, which was originally developed by Glue. It was a side-scrolling beat-em-up where you only play as Batman. The other is a collection of the original mini-games based around the villains in the game. Not sure where these mobile games are today. Hookers in the dark of the night. Due to how rundown Gotham City is, and how the women in the dance club are dressed, it could be interpreted that there are hookers in the dance club. Pretty weird for a kid's game. Absence of Deadshot. All of Batman's main villains make appearances in this game, along with some lesser known ones, except Deadshot. Deadshot does not make any appearance in this game, no matter what version. His first appearance being the 3DS version of LEGO Batman 2, not even the console version. He has been in every LEGO DC game since. Nikolai's Tulp. A famous painting of a graphic surgery located in the Joker's masterpiece. A pretty odd choice to appear in the kids' game. Joker's suicide joke. At the end of the hero story, when it pans to the Joker in his cell, he sticks a gun to his head and pretends to fire it before a gag bang flag pops out and the Joker laughs. How this made it past the censors, I got no idea. The bottom. Little fun at the big top, negative aura. Probably intentionally, there's a great deal of negative aura caused in the second level of the Joker hero campaign. The seemingly happy music, the rundown and rotten carnival, the commissioner trapped in a cage, his life on the line, the crashed bus. It's all very odd. Yeti is based on the snowman. Many people speculate that the Yeti character is based on the obscure Batman rogue, the Snowman, who is a man that is half Yeti. People believe this due to the Yeti and due to several other obscure rogues like Hush, Killer Moth, Mad Hatter, and Man-Bat. People speculate this may have been TT's way to include him in the game. Dark Knight tie-in. Due to the cancellation of the pandemic Dark Knight tie-in game, as well as this game coming out the same year as the Dark Knight was released, even though there's little to no reference to it, this game is the closest thing to a tie-in game for the Dark Knight. Two-Face Chase Quiet Music, which is an unused song for the Two-Face Chase level, to be used when there's no action. It's actually just a version of the Batcave song, with added traffic noises. I'll provide a link to the song in the description, however it is essentially just the song playing in the background at the moment, with added traffic sounds. Odd character roster. LEGO Batman 1 has the smallest roster of any mainline TT LEGO game. And it also has some really odd choices of characters who either had small cameos or never even appeared at all in the main story, like the Yeti, the Fishmonger, military policeman, and alternate costumes of Joker and Catwoman. Several villains that could have been in the game were also cut, but were luckily in the DS version or appeared in later sequels. The Abyss. Finally, we move on to the Abyss, starting with LBI Agent. One of the extra toggle characters and probably the oddest. LBI Agent has absolutely no connection to the game or Batman, nor any other LEGO game ever in development. Perhaps it could have been a way to expand the LEGO universe's lore. Arkham Asylum prequel. If you think about it, the plot of LEGO Batman lines up well with the Arkham Asylum plot. LEGO Batman ends with all the villains being locked up in Arkham, and it has every character who appears in Arkham Asylum. Bane, Killer Croc, Riddler, Joker, Harley Quinn, Scarecrow, and Poison Ivy are in the game, and every character in LEGO Batman has some kind of reference apart from Man-Bat. LEGO Batman also came out a year before Arkham Asylum. While it's mostly a coincidence, it's still interesting how well these two line up. Traveler's Tales rushed the game. Due to the small character roster, lack of gold bricks, broken extra toggle, and cancellation of the Dark Knight game, it's possible that the game was rushed ahead of time before it could be fully finished. Gotham is in a nuclear fallout. While this is extremely unlikely, it explains why Gotham is in such a decrepitated state, why all of the toxic waste is everywhere, and why characters like Clayface and Killer Croc can exist. Killer Moth in the trophy room. There's a very rare glitch that will cause an unplayable and unkillable Killer Moth to appear in the hero's trophy room. Could he have possibly died in Arkham after the main story and his ghost now haunts Wayne Manor? Possibly not. It's definitely the weirdest glitch in the entire game. Lego Batman is the darkest Lego game. The chalk outline, the killing joke reference, the suicide joke, Nicholas Tulp, Batman and Robin coming across the corpses of police officers before the Mr. Freeze level, the decrepit state Gotham is in, multiple goons being murdered for no reason, the ending of the Joker villain story, depicting him about to blow up Gotham, the hookers, describing the backstories of multiple villains in full details, Hush, and the negative aura. Compared to the other Lego games, Lego Batman is one of the darkest. Lego Star Wars and Avengers, and even later the Lego DC games, are all very lighthearted and fun. And while this game has that, much like Lego Indiana Jones and Lego Batman 2, there is a darkness underneath the bright exterior, much like the DC universe itself. This game's atmosphere is dark and weary, which serves as something that really stands out compared to all the Lego games, with Lego Batman 1 being very special. That concludes the Lego Batman the Videogame Iceberg. Special thanks to Joey the Decepticon for the iceberg, and all the notes that I read out. There is some more information on the iceberg that I didn't go over, mainly just to save time. So I'll leave a link in the description for the iceberg. Hope you guys all enjoyed this Bentley 5 video. Peace out, and like and subscribe.